All right. We called it. This is a dead zone, and for some strange reason, we couldn't go live here. Well, we know there's not a reception, but we were catching some video, and for some strange reason, it just went dead. But
That's weird.
Yeah, but the crazy thing is we are in studio, garage, space. We just got done talking with Ryan and talking with Jordan, and we talked haunt, but we didn't come back here to show kind of the studio where some of the magic happens. Now, the two of you, do you both work on dark matter?
No, I just help carry this.
You just help carry the stuff, and perhaps send Jordan a note going, I found something great that we can
Yeah, I pick up
we can
some
purpose.
parts for him sometimes. And mostly just his pack mule.
a pack mule. I'm gonna grab a little bit of a look back here. There is props, masks, and the reason why this is relevant is because it's almost Halloween 2024. I've got a skeleton mermaid, masks, and I see a little bit of Texas Chainsaw.
See a lot of it.
A lot of it, as a matter of fact, right? So if you're a Texas Chainsaw fan, there it is.
There's a whole row of them.
A whole row of them.
Texas doll and pictures.
But as we talked in our interview, we're talking about the work that you do, right? And your work has a special feel that I think is a reason why you often sell out whenever you're vending, right? Because the dark matter has been around for just not quite a year, and your stuff sells quickly, and it sells quickly because it's got a gnarly, kind of gory feel. So give us a tour of a few of your things here, Jordan.
I'll start with the logo.
Yeah.
This is actually a piece that I made. This was one of the pieces I made. A friend of mine took it, digitized it, and made it into the logo, which I thought would be really cool to do versus just having something made that he actually took a piece that's mine that I created with my own hands, and then we turned it into the logo.
Yeah.
That's actually the first piece you sold.
That's actually the first piece I sold, yeah. That was the first one at the very first show.
Yep.
Yeah.
And if you happen to be the winner of this 287 giveaway, you're going to get an original piece of kind of a plate of gore, along with some stickers and some other things here that's going to have your logo. But this is great.
This one. So my wife was actually throwing away this pie shelf.
What was she thinking?
Yeah, so she was throwing it away, and I said, you know what? I can put a head in that.
Yeah.
And I had this head that I got on eBay that I just repainted and I just sprayed it, repainted it, added a whole bunch of nasty gore and blood. It's all dusty, so it's not super shiny, but some gauges, tubing.
And I see a strobe light back there too, right?
There is. It doesn't work.
Doesn't work.
I just tried to turn it on, but yeah. So at the shows, it does. It just shines up. It's definitely an attention getter.
A strobe light on that gore is certainly gonna capture someone's attention, right?
Yeah. This one is one of the newer ones I just finished before the last show, before haunt season started. So this one's kind of... He's got his brain there, which I try to, I guess, spread out my pieces as much as I can. So his top of his head, we cut that off and used it on a whole nother piece. It's somewhere in a toad, I think. But that one's nasty too. But
We talked a little bit about corpsing, so you've obviously have figured out your look, right?
yeah, so that was the one thing when I started doing it. I didn't really have like a look, but as you see, everything's front to back, top to bottom. So I don't skimp.
It looks leathery, you know.
Right.
I mean, it's.
So I
it's
started
good.
using this like specific stain that I use, and how I do everything now. I started doing a couple of these pieces, and I liked how it was, but it was very dark. and like it was almost black. So I was like, man, that looks really cool. But then I started doing more pieces and different things, and that's when a friend of mine was like, man, you're really starting to develop like a unique style just by what you're naturally doing. He's like, so just whatever you're doing, just keep doing that. And he's like, but if I seen like your piece in an ocean of a bunch of other stuff, he goes, I'd be able to tell that was yours just because of the unique style of what you're coming at with the colorings and your painting techniques. Like, so each piece now I go through the same process every single time.
It feels like you could have, this guy could have been left on the roadside. You know,
I hear that a lot.
It certainly looks like,
If I seen
a
that
deer
laying
corpse.
in the woods,
Yeah,
I'd
you're
be
like,
calling 911.
Yeah.
Like, the comments I get are amazing.
yeah. Well, we're probably gonna have to say gory, you know, FX or fake blood. We're probably gonna put all kinds of warnings on here because it is graphic.
For theatrical purposes.
Yeah, exactly. Now there's what's this? Did your wife throw this?
No, I found this at Goodwill, and this was like, one of my little ideas. So I've noticed that hair really, I don't know what it is, but it hits people in the stomach every time, and it's such a gross factor that all these shows, the people, he's laughing because this one lady was freaking out over the dog bowl. She gagged, and it was the funniest thing I'd ever heard. She gagged every time she came in the booth because it had hair. Everything else was fine, but the hair got her. And that's what I think takes these to a different, I don't know, level. I don't know.
Did you make a piece like this this handheld blender? Was there an intention there? Was it like a prop for somebody in the Carver family? Was it just like I found it and I figured like I'm just gonna gore it up?
No, I just found it. Thought it'd be something. Honestly, there's some customers of mine. They do a kitchen theme and stuff. So I kind of made that with them in mind. Because once you start developing, like learning your customers, you start kind of making things geared towards specific people because you know that next show it's gonna sell.
Yeah. They're gonna come back, or even if it makes it to the next show, because you're not mass producing this.
No, literally everything.
You can't, right?
One off.
One off.
So like these are like the bones. Like so I try to make as much out of these pieces. You know, you get this leg, you get two of these off of them. I sell the rest of the legs somewhere in a tote over there, if there's any left. But yeah, we sell these like crazy at shows. Those go quick. Skeleton hands, I corpse those up. Those go like crazy. We sold, I think I made like 8 the last show, and they all went within the first 3 hours. The cheese graters.
Oh yeah, we saw those cheese graters. Yeah, I love those cheese graters.
Yeah. Simple little hand.
Yeah, those right there.
All right, should we?
These corpses take me 2 weeks, from start to finish. 2 weeks, the whole process.
Now, if you happen to win the Tuesday 7 giveaway, you're gonna get a plate of gore. But right over here, this is some fast.
Yeah, there you go. It's fast food.
Fast food. Some fast gore. I love the basket. And it's funny how you can tell from your style right away, and somebody's gonna buy that and go, you know what, I'm gonna put that out every year, and I'll put it away, and then 20 years from now, maybe my kids will get it. And
that's in some of these pieces, like, this is going on my mantle, and we're like, what?
All right, so we're going to give just a quick look, because in order to grab these corpses, you've got to have, a skeleton beneath it, right?
Yeah, so, they're all bare bones. This is what they start as. Home Depot, plastic skeleton. I do have Bucky medical grade skeletons over there. I just haven't kind of figured out that yet. But this is what they start.
We start off with, and then they end up with something like this, right? But
you end up like that. Some cool antique store finds shoved in its mouth. I call that one sore throat. Obvious reasons.
that is gnarly, and we can certainly see your style here, and the getting screwed. adds a whole nother meaning to it with this corpse. All right, so we've got a couple more things. We don't want to completely give away everything. We went dark on.
That one actually has like the pendulum in there. It didn't have it, so I bought the pieces to make it work. Obviously, it's not in there. I don't know where it went now, but
So this was a piece because I think we went dead the first time we saw this. So this is a piece that you found at a.
Yeah, so I found this at Goodwill.
The box,
clock.
right?
Yeah,
The clock.
It's the clock, and this head was like the perfect size. This little prop head. So I just molded it all into it. And added hair. Like I said, the pendulum wasn't working in the clock, so all the mechanisms and everything is now stuck underneath that that head. But I just thought it'd be really cool to just have the pendulum in there swinging for no reason.
I agree.
When it's just hanging on the wall. So
I agree. So if you were here, then you'd see that we also have some more gore. What happened to this guy?
I think he's just
Had a bad day.
half off.
Half off. Well done.
Half off.
Well done.
Those ones,
We actually
I'm
were
pretty
at,
proud of those ones. Those turned out awesome.
we were actually at a show. The last show we did, Summit County Fairgrounds, and a friend of his came up and he saw that, and his mom was over looking at it, and I was like, well, you know, running joke is it's half off. And she just stood there and looked at me like, that's the worst dad joke I ever heard. Then she started laughing because she saw that we had literally marked the tag half off.
Half off. Half off. I'll tell you what, I am impressed because when a artist starts to create some props, right, and they decide that they want to start to sell some things, very often they take shortcuts. And it's obvious that you have a love for this, and I love your style, and I know that you'll do well. So guys, thank you for letting us jump in the garage and see where the magic happens, and tell us,
This one I sculpted all by myself, all out of clay, molded. I learned the molding process, sculpting process.
So you got a mold of this, huh?
Yeah, I do. I have a mold of this. This was the fourth one I ever really tried sculpting. It's kind of my take on Leatherface. So obviously I love Texas Chainsaw.
So dark matter is going to be adding to its inventory. And
this mask actually, somebody just went to a Comic-Con or something and won best costume with this.
With that mask.
So it's pretty sweet.
Yeah. Ryan, thank you.
Sure, thank you.
Jordan, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it. And we'll catch you guys next week. Later.
Later.